Hi, this is Professor Michael Smith with our build icon function completed, which allows us to build eye elements using our new data structure for each icon, which is built out of an object. We pass that object to the build icon function and it returns an eye element. If you recall, those eye elements are what make up our icons on our web page. We can look at these icons again and note that there's four of them in this particular page. There's four eye elements, and they're all inside of this div with an icons class. What we want to now do is clear these icons so that we can add our particular icons to the page, which means we need to clear these eye elements and add the new eye elements constructed using our build icon function. To do that, we need to start by first selecting the div with the icons class. So we'll just create a selector called icon space, and we're going to use the document query selector and use the icons class. All right. And then we're going to be using two methods to select the eye elements inside of the icon space. The first one is going to be the first element child selector, which selects the first child of a parent element. All right, so in this case we would have icon space, right? Whoops, we need to save our JS file. If we call icon space, you can see here are four elements inside, eye elements inside the selected icon space. All right, and we can then pass the selector first element child, and you can see it's already choosing this eye element. All right, so now we know how we can select an element based on as it being the first child of the parent icons. What this is going to allow us to do now is we can take this value and we can also use another method called icon. We're going to use the selected icon space div, and we can call remove child, which takes an argument, and in this case we're going to have it take this selected first child as the argument. And if I pass that value to the remove child method, you can see it removes this value. And if I call it again, it's going to remove the second one because that's the new first child, and this is the new first child, the red ghost. And I call it again and it removes it. And then the last one, if I call it again, it removes it as well. All right, so we have this process that we're going to go through. So the first was to use the first child selector, which selects the first child of each parent element. And then with each one that's selected, we're going to use the remove child selector, method to pass the value of the first element child to remove. So with our two new methods, we can now write a function that we're going to call clear icons, in which we are going to use a while loop that, as long as it's true that within the icon space there is a first element child, so as long as it's true that there's a child within the icon space or an eye element within the icon space, we're going to want to call the remove child method. All right, so while there is an element within the parent icon space, let's call remove child. And which element should we remove? We'll remove the first one. So it calls for the first child to continue to be removed as long as there is one that exists within the icon space. And with that saved, we can call clear icons, and you can see they're all removed. With that function completed, we're going to move on to mapping our 4 icons to the page.